I love about him? Everything. Alan Shearer. Wow, what high praise from a living legend. Follow along to hear the story of a young footballer from Ireland who set the Premier League ablaze during his rapid rise to stardom. Let's kick it off. Evan Ferguson's football journey kicked off in Bettystown, a tiny Irish village tucked away in County Meath. Imagine a place where football is like morning tea, essential and energising. That's where Evan comes from. His dad, Barry Ferguson, was a bit of a football maestro himself, having played professionally for teams like Coventry City and Shamrock Rovers. Barry was the Yoda to Evan's Luke Skywalker, teaching him the footballing ways right from when Evan could barely walk. Barry's time on the field may have been dotted with goals and passes, but his biggest win was passing on the football gene to Evan. With an Irish dad and an English mum, Evan got the best of both football worlds. This blend of Irish determination and English finesse was the secret sauce in shaping Evan's early love for the game. Now, let's talk about young Evan and his football journey. When most kids at 6 were figuring out bicycles, Evan was already lacing up for football at St. Kevin's Football Club in Dublin. This wasn't just any club, it was like Hogwarts for footballers. His commitment to football was as solid as a chocolate bear on a hot summer day, undeniable and melting all over. Barry, the ever-supportive dad, was like a football fairy godfather. He didn't pressure Evan. Instead, he set up this perfect football playground for him to hone his skills. And guess what? It worked. Evan was able to show off his football brain and feat wizardry in youth matches. It was like watching a mini football prophet in action. Every time Evan hit the field at St. Kevin's, it was a mini football festival. His achievements weren't just participation certificates, but real "wow, look at this kid" moments. Evan was captaining a football ballet with skills, speed, and a tactical brain that would make seasoned players take notes. Playing in different positions, he was like a Swiss Army knife on the field, versatile and super handy. By 14, he was causing ripples in the football pond, and his debut with Bohemians against a giant like Chelsea was like a thunderclap announcing his arrival. In these formative years, Evan was a mix of natural talent, hard work, and a family that backed him through everything. His journey from a little Irish village to knocking on professional football's doors is a story of dedication and the power of good football genes and great parenting. But the best was still yet to come. Picture this. A young lad, barely old enough to drive, strutting into the world of professional football like he owns the place. In January 2021, he waves goodbye to Bohemians and says hello to Brighton and Hove Albion. And the kid did not disappoint, making an entrance that announced his arrival to the football world. Evan was like a teenager with a cheat code, scoring goals left, right, and center. Imagine this. He nets a whooping 17 goals in just 33 games for Brighton's under-23s. That's the kind of stuff that makes you sit up and go, whoa, who is this kid? And mind you, all this goal fest happened when he was just 16. Talk about being an overachiever. Now let's not forget about the cherry on top, his nomination for the Player of the Month award. Yeah, our boy Evan wasn't just scoring goals, he was turning heads and making people scribble his name in their notebooks. But wait, there's more. Evan didn't just rock the club scene, he also decided to show off a bit on the international stage. Playing for Ireland's under-21s, he wasn't just another player on the field, he was the standout star, showcasing his skills and proving that he wasn't just a flash in the pan. It was crystal clear to everyone watching. Evan Ferguson was on a one-way trip to football stardom, and he was pressing the accelerator hard. Signing with Brighton and Hove Albion was like hitting a football jackpot for Evan. On his 18th birthday, he penned a deal keeping him at the club until 2026. His first big goal for Brighton came against Forest Green Rovers, and by New Year's Eve, he set a record as Brighton's youngest Premier League scorer. Pretty cool birthday gift, huh? The excitement around Evan was like a buzz in the air. Fans were eager to see this young star shine, especially since Brighton picked him over others. Sorry, Liverpool. Brighton played it smart with Evan, balancing playtime and learning to avoid the usual young star hiccups. With his contract now extended through 2028, the future's looking bright for Evan at Brighton. filled with goals and possibly some trophies too. But imagine switching from a small local club to playing on the biggest, brightest stages of England. That was Evan Ferguson moving from Bohemians to Brighton and Hove Albion. Picture going from playing in your backyard to a grand stadium packed with roaring fans. Evan had to ramp up his game to match the Premier League's pace, similar to a video game character leveling up. He also had to gel with his new teammates, which is no small feat when you're the new kid on the block. But Evan, being Evan, thrived. He started hitting goals like he was swatting flies. In his debut season with Brighton, he was scoring goals left, right and centre. His first goal against Forest Green Rovers, that was just the beginning. He had a knack for scoring when it mattered most, proving he wasn't just adjusting to the Premier League, he was conquering it. At Brighton Hove Albion, Evan's been like a superhero in cleats. In the 2022-23 season, he didn't just play, he was dazzling. How about the hat-trick against Newcastle United? Pure show-stopping class. He was not just a young talent, he was a headline maker, a record setter. Evans has made history as the youngest goal scorer for both Ireland and Brighton in the Premier League. It hasn't just been about scoring goals though. He's been lifting the whole team with his play. He helped Brighton finish 6th and get into European football again after a long hiatus. But every hero faces challenges, and Evans had his share. Injuries are part and parcel of a footballer's life, and Evans had to deal with them too. Minor injuries here and there, like most footballers. But they haven't slowed him from rising and shining at Brighton. His talent and rapid rise have many comparing him to Ireland's most famous footballer, Roy Keane. Evan Ferguson and Roy Keane are similar like two peas in a pod, yet also as different as chalk and cheese. Roy Keane was the midfield maestro. He was the backbone of the team, a real tough cookie with a brain for tactics. He was like the conductor, orchestrating the game with grit and smarts. Evan Ferguson is the new kid on the block, playing up front where it's all about scoring goals and making magic happen. While Keane was busy bossing the midfield, Ferguson's more like the flashy forward, always on the lookout to hit the back of the net. But don't let their different roles fool you. Both of these Irish gems share a bulldog-like determination and the knack of making waves even when they were just footballing toddlers. Ferguson's been scoring goals for Brighton like he's playing EAFC 24, including that unforgettable first goal for the Republic of Ireland. He's showing signs of becoming a big deal, just like Keane did in his heyday. Talking about impact, Roy Keane was like the superhero of Irish football during his playing days. He lifted everyone's game around him. His leadership was unmatched, as well as inspiring a whole generation of wide-eyed young footballers. Enter Evan Ferguson. This guy is stirring up a storm with his performances for club and country. He's like the new poster boy for Irish football, bringing a bucket load of excitement and hope. Just like Keane, he's rewriting the rulebook for what young Irish players can achieve. His knack for scoring in big matches for Brighton and Ireland has everyone whispering, "Here comes our next football legend." He's not just following in Keane's footsteps, he's got his own pair of dancing shoes, ready to jive his way into the annals of Irish football history. Phenomenal journey, right? Evan Ferguson's rise is nothing short of inspiring. Now, it's your turn. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and comment below on your thoughts. What's your favorite Evan Ferguson moment? How do you see his future in football shaping up? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and ring the notification bell. Check out more of our football content here. Until next time, keep your love for the game alive and see ya on the pitch.